Alright, alright. Landorus, Infernape, Sylveon, probably Mega Venusaur. Oh man, guys, we're gonna get to use Gardevoir this game versus Aegislash and Milotic. So he's gonna be bringing Milotic. He's gonna be bringing most likely Venusaur. Probably, if I was him, I would not bring Sylveon, but that's just me. He's gonna be bringing Infernape, Venusaur, Milotic, and Thundurus. Those are his four. That's what we're calling here. If he brings those, he has no KO power though, so he might try to switch it up a little bit. I feel that Aegislash is a great Pokemon for me. I don't know if I'll lead with it. If I lead Sableye Aegislash, I have potential KO power on everything. And he has no fake out power, and I can fake out him back. I like that. I feel like I could definitely just get away with that, but the Thundurus is definitely a problem. Let's try it. Why not? So this is a lead that I like to do against Kangaskhan's. It looks like it'll work here as well. I need to bring one more Pokemon. Is it Arcanine or Landorus? Arcanine's better. Cool. Okay. So this lead might not work, but it's really, really decent against the Infernape. It's okay against Milotic. Same thing against Aegislash. We'll just see how this works. Thunderous Milotic, so we're 2 for 2 so far. Remember, we're waiting on the Infernape, who I thought would have been the lead, but we're not going to give him that Intimidate boost that he wants. And we're going to get a really, really defensive turn going. Fake Out on the Thundurus slot, and Shadow Ball on the Thundurus slot. Once we get Thundurus off the board, we can deal with the rest of the things. My team can kind of deal with Milotic, but Milotic, like we saw in the first game of the night, is super hard to deal with sometimes. We go for the Fake Out on the Thundurus slot. He's trying to taunt me up, and I don't want to let him. And he goes for the Icy Wind here. That's not doing anything. So I'm really happy to not see Scald. So that's really, really good. Looks like he doesn't really know what to do with his Milotic. Maybe he thought I would switch him with Thundurus. That's also really bad. So that probably was just the read he was looking for. And go for the Shadow Ball. Probably going to activate a Citrus Berry here. But I'm completely okay with that. That's not the end of the world. What were the Special D as well? Yeah, this is Citrus. So this turn what we're going to do is, since we did so much with that, we are going to go for King Shield, Will-O-Wisp on the Milotic, and the next turn go for the Shadow Ball. Play again. So you may think that Thundurus always has the advantage in like a Prankster matchup, but against this Sableye set, I feel that I'm fine. Because this Sableye set used to be a Mega Sableye set, so I just feel like I'm really good against Thundurus. But we do have to get it off the board if we're going to play the team correctly. I also don't want to bring out my other Pokemon. I don't want to eat Thunder Waves. So he's going for the taunt. Looks like he's taunting the Sableye, which is the correct call here. If I hit this Will-O-Wisp, I'm in a really, really good spot. Thank goodness. I was gonna be like, oh, I've played perfectly so far. Don't ruin this for me, Sableye. He's going for the Scald, and yeah, I've just played this 100% perfect. His Thundurus probably doesn't pack Protect, because they normally don't. He has a chance to go for like a Swagger play, and I really hope that doesn't happen, but that's fine. Switch Sableye out. Obviously, it's gonna get taunted now, if it was gonna get taunted, so we're gonna switch that out. Going to Thundurus here. Let's see if we can trace competitive, because that would be awesome. Or Prankster. That is a shiny Milotic on the other side. Alright, so we come in with the only competitive shiny that I really use. Actually, I have a shiny Vivillon. No, it's not shiny. It's an event. But this is I have a shiny Gardevoir. I trace Prankster. That's awesome. I'll totally take that. And he goes for the Thunderbolt. So often go with the Thunderbolt. Let's see if he's not using an orb. So it's not going to do a ton. Oh, did he read me like a book? I got read like a book, but we never gave him a competitive boost, so it's not the end of the world. If I want to this turn, I can actually go for like a Protect with my Gardevoir, then switch out to Sableye, then go for Fake Out Hyper Voice, and then a Quash Hyper Voice. So I'm not too far behind, but I think I'm probably just gonna like YOLO attack that Milotic. We'll see what happens. Actually, I should just play this defensive. I should play this defensively. That Milotic is burning down. Oh yeah, I'm going to switch out here. We are going to go for the switch into Sableye here and the King Shield again. This is going to let us get another Fake Out turn. This is going to let that Milotic tick down. It's going to waste his time, get him right before recover range, and then come out and bop him in the face. So hopefully that's the plan. Let's see how it works. Stance change. I'm going to go into defensive mode. I should be playing very obvious here, but I'm just going to keep him honest. want to see what he goes for, because he could go for an Icy Wind, and I just want to see. He goes for the Fake Out. Not going to work. I could have protected, and he goes for the Scald. So I should have just protected. It's no big deal. I hope I don't get burned. It's not the end of the world, yeah. Like I said, it's not the end of the world with a Pokemon like Aegis, or with Sableye. Should have just protected and switched next turn, though. But I wanted to get my Fake Out going, so, actually, I can go for a really cool play here. I can go for a super cool play here. Let's try this one out. Actually, he's just going to Flare Blitz me. I got to go for something different. No. I need to take out, what? I have Arcanine in the back, right? Let's check. If I have Arcanine in the back, there's no big deal. No. Let's just do this. Let's do this one. Let's do it like this. Fake Out on the Infernape. I want to get rid of its Sash. That's very, very important. I think it's going to come and play later. Now I can go for different plays. He's going to Scald that slot. It's fine. Oh, he's Scalding my Aegislash. That's awesome, then. That means my Sableye has even more turns on the board to do whatever it wants. And I go for a KO onto that Infernape next turn. If I don't KO it this turn. Yeah. He thinks he's fine. He thinks I'm just going to be fine. And I'm like, dude, you're so not fine right now. You're so not fine. I'm going to show him how to play. Because I don't think I've shown Quash yet. And that's the secret behind the Sableye set. We're going to Quash the Infernape, make him go last this turn. And we're going to follow it up with a Shadow Ball. I don't think he has Protect. I'll see what he used it last turn to avoid my Fake Out. Quash going to come out. No Protect. I would have looked like a fool. So Quash is going to come out. Infernape's going to be going last. He's going to Scald here. I just think I can live on my Aegislash. I think he's targeting Sableye anyways. So yeah. Sableye did everything it needed to. Note that my Milotic is within KO range for Hyper Voice. That's the big thing here. We're going to finish off Infernape. The Pokemon has the speed tiering over my Gardevoir. And I think we're in a really, really, really good spot. Really, really, really good spot. I also have Arcanine left if I have to switch out Venusaur. Oh my gosh, this is such a great spot. I'm just going to go for the Hyper Voice. That sounds like a good idea. Because what I can do here is I can just Psychic the Venusaur. He's probably thinking I know that he... we're going to know that he knows that we know that we know. Hyper Voice is coming on the board. And then Shadow Ball onto the Venusaur slot. No, onto the Milotic slot. Just keep it honest here. I could have King Shielded. That's fine. I think if anything would protect, it would be Venusaur, because Gardevoir has KO potential on it. We're going to see him go Mega. Let's see who protects, because who protects is actually super, super important. I feel that I should have targeted the Venusaur slot with Shadow Ball. Let's see if it actually matters. No protects. So I could have just attacked the Venusaur, but I need to get rid of this Milotic if I want to be able to use Arcanine. So that's the plan. We're going to lose Gardevoir. That's fine, because I didn't want to just target the Venusaur slot, get protected, and not have done anything to Milotic. We're going to see Leech Seed come out here from Venusaur. That really, really sucks, but it's not the end of the world if we can take out this Milotic here. Alright, cool. Now remember, Venusaur has Thick Fat. It's going to be all Fire-type attacks and Ice attacks are going to be reduced by half, but it's Mega Venusaur versus an Adamant Life-Orbed Arcanine and an Aegislash that is pretty upset. And also, he's Leech Seeded a target that has very low base HP, so he's not really getting anything back. And it looks like he's almost full specialty, because my Hyper Voice did, like, nothing. So I should be fine. I don't think he has any KO power over this Arcanine. If I had Thundurus left, or sorry, Landorus left, I would be in a world of hurt, but I think I'm fine. I'm gonna laugh if I eat, like, a HP Dark. My Aegislash. So this is going to do at least half. I note that he didn't protect. He's probably going for the Leech Seed play. But, like, no amount of Leech Seed is going to save you, bro. Sludge Bomb onto my Arcanine slot. That's not a bad play either. If he poisons me, I'm in a really bad spot. I win. Bam. Oh, got that crit. So we pick up the KO this turn instead of picking it up next turn. There's no way Venusaur would have lived there. But I did pick up the win for White Zone. Played that game amazingly. I called this, guys, every turn. And how's it going, Ghost Flare X? Thanks for stopping by the stream. I really appreciate it. And we're going to save this game and go into the replay vault to go over the games. Alright, what do we got going on here? Battle video has been saved. Okay. Well, you guys in chat are crazy. Okay. So I felt that I played that one pretty good. Alright, we're leading this one off against, so we called the four. We called the four Pokemon that were coming. Thundurus, Milotic. I knew those were coming. Thundurus checks my Sableye, and that's just something you need to do in this sort of matchup. It's also good against Kang. Uh, Milotic, a Pokemon that's great against multiple Intimidators. I'm using two Intimidators. Milotic has super effective moves on both of those. Milotic is a no-brainer against my team every single time. Infernape checks the Kang, checks the Aegislash, can fight Arcanine, and is faster than Gardevoir most of the time. And it also can switch it on Will-O-Wisp. Infernape is a for sure, and then his Mega, obviously last Pokemon, is for sure. We called all of his Pokemon, and since I knew what four Pokemon he was going to bring, this game was just free, and we're going to obviously talk about that. Now let's talk about the leads. Took a little bit of a gamble going with Sableye, Aegislash, but since we knew what four Pokemon were coming down, we see Thundurus, Gardevoir, Infernape, Venusaur. Those four Pokemon have no KO pressure on this lead. I have potential Fake Out and super effective moves on most of them. And what really cost my opponent this game was the fact that he didn't bring any of his power packers like Sylveon. So I think that's just me playing a good game. I don't know how else to explain that. You guys got any ideas of how else to explain that? I mean, I don't think it was just like instinct saying, oh, he's bringing this four. I think I went down within the 2-minute countdown and accurately described why he was going to bring which four Pokemon. I thought the order was going to be Infernape Milotic or Infernape Thundurus, but I led with the lead that would lead into any four of these combos. I mean, I don't think there's a combo of those four that checks my lead. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. We have time. Infernape was probably one of the better ones because it just has Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz is really good. If he went Infernape Thundurus into this lead, I would have went Fake Out onto the Infernape, Shadow Ball the Infernape. He would have went Thunderbolt. Worst case scenario, since I know that I have the mental but he doesn't know, he would have went Thunderbolt my Sableye. The next turn I would have went Quash Shadow Ball again. He can't switch into anything that wouldn't take at least half. Yeah, no, I think I'm good. I think this lead checks everything. Also, he has a Sylveon in his team, and this checks that as well. So I think he also had like a Landorus, maybe. Yeah, I led great. I led great. Also, bring Gardevoir over Kangaskhan. Gardevoir has super effective moves on Venusaur, super effective on Infernape, great against Thundurus with Sableye support, and decent against Milotic. I mean, it's not as good as Kang, but if I were to switch it on a burn, which I did switch in, I didn't get burned. It wouldn't have cost me the game like it would with Kang. Arcanine over Thundurus, or sorry, Arcanine over Landorus. Let's look at that. Arcanine won me the game. It KO'd the Venusaur, who would have potentially been Giga Drain and walled out. That is a definite possibility. Arcanine's also better against Infernape. It is amazing against Thundurus, because sometimes Thundurus's pack HP Ice, and if that crits, I go down. But the extreme speed is what lets Arcanine really shine against Thundurus, so I think that I brought the right four, and now that we have confirmed everything about these 8 Pokemon, we can start the battle up and go over it. And I'm going to get a sip of my drink because my voice is rip. What is my dual Mega? I'm using Kangaskhan and Gardevoir. And in this game, we're going to be using Gardevoir. So we see Milotic Thundurus, a very defensive, potential swagger Thunder Wave. Prankster plays from the Thundurus, and obviously Milotic tried to catch a competitive proc. I go for the Fake Out on the Thundurus, neutralizing it for a turn. Milotic decides to go with Icy Wind. It looks like he was trying to catch me switching in. That's really looks like what it was trying to do. I didn't switch in. That's completely... He just went for the, like, YOLO play first turn with that Icy Wind, because there's no real reason to Ice Wind this board. And I get a free Shadow Ball off onto the Thundurus slot. And you may ask, why am I Shadow Balling a Thundurus? It's just going to proc it Citrus Berry. I get the defense drop, special D drop, but it's not really the biggest thing. So we're going to activate Citrus Berry, and we're then going to play a very defensive turn 2 and go for a really, really obvious play here. I could have went for like a YOLO play onto the Thundurus, but I didn't really want to. We're going to have him taunt the Sableye, and we're turning this into the long game. We're going to activate our Mental Orb. It's going to let the taunt wear off in one turn, and we're going to Will-O-Wisp the Milotic. Hitting that Will-O-Wisp is super important. If we would have missed the Will-O-Wisp, probably would have been a very different game. So now that my Melodic's burned, like I said, the plan is to wait for my Melodic to get to around half and then finish it off in one attack. That is the main plan here. So we switch into Gardevoir here. And that's only because I don't want to eat another taunt on my Sableye. And I trace the Prankster, which is pretty cool. That means if I actually wanted to, I could taunt the Thundurus, and I'm actually faster than he is because I'm a full speed timid set. So we switch in and get read like a book and eat a Thunderbolt and a Scald right in the face. See, luckily, I did not get burned. That would have taken me out after 2 turns. And I get a secondary Shadow Ball off onto the Thundurus, picking up the KO. The specialty drop did not come into play. But Thundurus going down, like I said, opens up the rest of my board. Now my Aegislash can stay if it wants to. My Sableye can come back out if I want to bring it out. Also, there's no hacks plays left in the game from like Swagger or Thunder Wave. He decided to send his Infernape out. I'm expecting the fake out play, so I switched to my Ghost type, and I go for the King Shield. I played very, very defensively this turn, but what's funny is I could have played even more defensively and played an even longer game by just leaving my Gardevoir in and protecting. I know it's kind of funny. I would have probably Mega Evolved and protected actively so I could use that speed stat later against the Infernape. Because if that's an Adamant Infernape, my Mega Gardevoir is much faster. So looking at that, I probably could have played that part a little bit differently. Because I took half HP onto my Sableye for no reason there. Because I could have just switched like literally this turn and done that. When he would have went for like the attack onto my Aegislash instead. So we're going to stance change here and go for, I think, a Shadow Ball onto the Infernape slot. And we're going to see what happens here. It does a little drops him down to about 15%. Get another special D-drop like the first one. It's not really going to come into play. And my Melodic's almost at that halfway point. We've already seen it use its Citrus Berry, but I don't want it to get into the mindset of using a Recover. I want him to keep using Scalds, keep using Icy Wind, bait him into thinking he's going to get something out of it. As we see him pick up the Sableye KO, he's probably thinking, good, I took out the Sableye. But if he would have recovered, this game would have been incredibly difficult to win from here. Now we take out the Infernape. Remember, that's the Pokemon that has the speed check on my Gardevoir. It's now time to send Gardevoir out. Milotic just got dropped to that halfway mark, and it's now time to take the Milotic out before he gets Recover off. He sends out a Venusaur, a slow Pokemon, a Pokemon that Gardevoir has a potential super effective move on. If any of these Pokemon were to protect, I would put my money on the Venusaur slot. He's probably going to think that's his win condition. He's probably going to think he has a good matchup against Aegislash with Leech Seed. And if let's say I Psychic the Venusaur slot, in this game it would have worked. I would have picked up the KO probably onto the Venusaur. It looks like he had a ton of Special D, judging by how harshly he ate the Flare Blitz. So I might not have picked up the KO. I have not one-shot Mega Venusaurs with Psychic before. But Hyper Voice is the correct move to do here. It lets me judge the Venusaur's EV spread, and it puts Milotic in the KO range for Shadow Ball. We are going to lose Gardevoir this turn. And you may ask, why didn't I just protect that turn and go for a Shadow Ball and then Hyper Voice combo? I just don't want to let the Milotic get a Recover off. This way, with this type of turn, I'm punishing it harder in case it would have went for Recover, because it would have been at about 20% after using a Recovery, eating both those attacks. You also see Venusaur go for the correct move in Leech Seed. Venusaur's moves don't really do that much damage to Aegislash, so Leech Seed is the best move in that situation since he knew how the turn was going to end. Unfortunately for him, he lost his Milotic, but I think he probably knew that at the beginning of the turn. We now come with Arcanine here, and he's probably thinking if I had Landorus left, he probably would have won. He could have Giga Drained my Landorus out so hard, he would have been chunking my Landorus for almost a third each turn, and it would have been a lot harder to grind it out with like Earthquakes and stuff like that. So bringing Arcanine over Landorus here was definitely the correct choice, and most people just see Mega Venusaur and they're like, alright, I can't bring my Fire type. But I didn't really bring Arcanine because it has a Fire type attack. I brought Arcanine because of its defensive Fire typing against a Pokemon like Mega Venusaur. He couldn't use his best move in Giga Drain, and that actually won me the game. So, pretty good game here, and I feel pretty good. I feel really good about that game. I picked all 4 of his Pokemon. I picked correct leads that worked against every single members of his team. I brought the correct Mega, and I even brought the correct secondary in Arcanine to check all the threats. I mean, Arcanine is great against Thundurus. It's not great against Milotic, but I have Close Combat, which takes about 45%. Great against Infernape, especially because of the extreme speed there again, and it does about half to Venusaur, so pretty good stuff. Awesome.